Learn about the side effects of head injuries.
See how the University of Arizona baseball team is preparing to defend their national championship.
How the university is composting your old food. All this and more tonight.
This is Wildcast.
Welcome to the late edition of Wildcast. I'm Carol Ann Scott.
And I'm Janice Yu. Thanks for joining us tonight.
The 59th annual Tucson Gem and Mineral Show is beginning to pick up steam, heading into the official start of the show later this week. Dealers are already beginning to set up across town, and our reporter, Ted Skroback, went down to Keno Sports Complex to talk to some vendors selling items other than rocks.
Most people come down to the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show for the rocks, but it's places like this with tapestry and singing bowls that keep the people coming out year after year. Lobsang Wangmo and her mother have been bringing their singing bowls to the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show for 7 years, claiming to be the first of their kind at the artistry event.
We were the first Tibetans here who really came, and then all the people started coming in after us. So we were the first ones who actually introduced everything over here.
The singing bowls are a Tucson favorite, according to Lobsang, because of their healing abilities. This mother-daughter team has not only caught the ears of Tucsonans, but their imagination as well.
Customers, they used to call us the two nuns, who are Tibetan nuns who are here. So they come, so they're really accepting.
This type of local acceptance is what has allowed international companies such as the Blake brothers to thrive off of the community's desire for more than just gems and minerals.
People keep asking for, they want new stuff. They come here always see the rock and the stone. They want to see new things. That's why I decided to bring stuff from Bali, from Thailand, all the music and all the artwork from recycled parts.
Recycled items like movie icons Alien and Predator were made from old motorcycle parts. These types of items interest Blake Brothers worker Blue Rodarte, who compares his work to his favorite holiday.
I enjoy working here because it's all kinds of different variety of stuff, and it's kind of like Christmas for me, and it's always opening up new stuff and polishing it up, and people are really interested in it.
This interest for different items is what keeps gem show enthusiast returning.
Seeing stuff from all over the world. I mean, you can't get anything else but the gem show here in Tucson. It's just huge, and you can't even see it all in the amount of time you get. There's over thousands of vendors out here. So yeah, try to do a little at a time.
Not only do the customers enjoy the steady change, but as Lobsang says, the event managers appreciate the diversity as well.
And then they're more into singing bowls and stuff, healings and stuff. So they really thank us, into bringing them all these things. Otherwise, you only see rocks here.
Reporting, Ted Skroback for Wildcast.
Concussions have been at the forefront of the NFL news debate for the past few years. However, head injuries not only affect professional athletes, but regular citizens as well. Earlier this semester, the UA held a panel discussing the dangers of head injuries. Our reporter, Karina Gallardo, has the story.
Concussions and traumatic brain injuries are a rising concern for physicians for today's young people, especially among student athletes, with symptoms, consequences, and long-lasting side effects too severe to ignore. Raising awareness of this issue is key. Dr. Sydney Rankin teaches a senior capstone physiology course that focuses on topics in the media that are relevant to physiology and healthcare. The class's current focus is on concussions.
The awareness brought on by the Super Bowl and by increased frequency in girls soccer has really brought it to the fore, and I think we really need to address this as a society. And so what a great way for students to start thinking about it as community members or as physicians.
Adam Miller, a senior nude cheerleader at the University of Arizona, spoke to Dr. Rankin's class regarding his 7 concussions and discussed the symptoms of his first grade 3 concussion that he received his freshman year on the high school football team.
I was just dazed, and I just woke up from being blacked out and couldn't even remember what I was doing, where I was, the months. I couldn't remember my address, my phone number. If you need to talk to somebody about it, go to a friend, go to a doctor, go to a family member. It doesn't matter. Just let them know what's going on so that, if something ever did happen again, they would know, hey, he's already had one. she's already had one, things might be worse.
According to the Sports Concussion Institute, 5 to 10% of athletes will experience a concussion in any given sports season. An estimated 47% of athletes do not report feeling any symptoms after a concussive blow.
Concussions get underestimated, but concussions really are a brain injury, just like other brain injuries. And we're learning a lot of information that if you have a concussion, you need to rest and get better from it.
Reporting at the University of Arizona for Wildcast, I'm Corina Gallardo.
After winning the national championship last season, the UA baseball team begins their quest to defend their title on Friday at High Corbett Field. Reporter Chelsea Moe met up with a couple of the players to get a sense of what they expect this coming season.
U of A's first baseball game will be held on February 15th at High Corbett Field at 6 p.m., and there are a couple of surprises in the works for attending students of their first game.
Yeah, I think we have some of the older players are coming back and throwing out the first pitch, and I know it's kind of a big deal because it's the first game since we won the national championship, so yeah, it'll be pretty fun.
The Cats look at their national championship experience as a complete honor.
I don't think so. I'm sure for some people, but I just feel it's like a great honor, and then everyone kind of moves on to the next year. So.
Tickets are now on sale, and trust me, you will want to be there. The Wildcats are already ranked 14th in the NCBWA poll, and there will be free rally towels handed out to the first 1,000 fans at the game.
Starting the season with very high rankings and being last year's national champions, the U of A is very excited to start this year's baseball season.
I asked Johnny Field how it felt to win the championship.
Incredible experience, obviously. Best season of my life, best moment of my life by far. Yeah. The national championship.
The Cats feel absolutely no pressure being last year's champions, and they have set many new and high goals for this upcoming season.
No, not at all. We don't. That year's behind us now. It's no pressure to try and win another one. That's the goal every year, to go out and attack and try to win national championships. So by winning it last year, that doesn't put any extra pressure on us at all.
Reporting for Wildcast, I am Chelsea Moe.
Due to the rigors of the college student schedule, plagiarism has always been a problem on university campuses. Wildcast reporter Sammy Jo Roth investigated to show why the UA is no exception.
Every semester, University of Arizona students write dozens of papers and essays.
We fail that part of the test.
There are lots of ways to cheat in school, one of which is by plagiarizing.
It happens all the time. I see it happen all the time. But, morally, I'm not going to do that just because I know that it's going to haunt me for the rest of my life.
The temptation to plagiarize is high.
I plagiarized the paper. I went to private school. It was the scariest moment of my life. Principal called me and I was crying. I knew it was wrong.
And with the click of a button, a world of information becomes accessible.
At the University of Arizona, plagiarism is really defined by each faculty member in their class. In our office, plagiarism is the most common type of violation. We see everything from where students will actually cut and paste part of their paper from the internet without citing it, to where students might just forget unintentionally to cite a piece of work.
At colleges around the country, you can cheat, but you can't hide.
I do not personally worry about plagiarism anymore.
Thanks to an internet-based plagiarism website called turnitin.com.
I used to worry that people might plagiarize and type in word sequences on the internet. I don't feel like I have to do that anymore because it's all just caught with this automatic program. But here,
Turnitin.com scans a student's work and then cross-matches it with the internet, looking for signs of copy and pasting.
Instead of using resources like these, students are heading to the web, which experts say could be to blame for the increase in plagiarism.
According to a study by the Pew Research Center, cyber plagiarism is at an all-time high among college students. Being aware of all the plagiarism policies in your classes is something that Tochihara says is crucial.
So I recommend to students when they are starting the new semester, that they work very closely with their faculty members, read the syllabus.
You know, I've been in situations where I've witnessed plagiarism, and I just couldn't imagine. It just seems like such an easy way out that I would never take.
Yeah, I just don't think it's worth it, you know?
Right, and I know U of A has very strong consequences for that. The San Diego Zoo visited the UA TV studio this past Thursday to show off their upcoming Australian Outback exhibit. Here's a recap in case you missed it. Hi there, and welcome to Wildcast Late Edition. We have a really special guest today. We have Rick Schwartz, our San Diego Zoo ambassador, here with us to tell us a little bit about a new exhibit.
Yeah, we're very happy to be here. We're going all over Tucson today and tomorrow, and it's wonderful that we're able to stop by here with some of our animals. We're here to talk about our Australian Outback area, which is basically, we've had koalas and Australian animals for a long time, but not one real centralized location to really show people. If you go to Australia, this is going to be your experience. These are the great animals there. So we have Australian Outback opening the end of May. It's been under construction for a year and a half now. And it's a nearly $7 million project, about 3 acres of the zoo being completely redesigned. And we brought along some animals to help tell you the story of what's going on there. And this is a blue-tongued skink. Now, a lot of people look at this and they freak out because it's a scaled animal and it's so scary looking and it's big. These guys are really laid back and very cool, and if he opens his mouth, let's see if he does, you'll see his tongue is very bright blue.
He's getting shy.
Now, a lot of times, bright colors in the wild, just for a second you saw it, the bright colors in the wild represent I'm poisonous or venomous. Now, there's always the exception to the rule. Cane toad was very just kind of nondescript brown color. Right. This animal, brightly colored tongue, not venomous or poisonous. So sometimes Mother Nature plays a couple tricks on us. We have the rather infamous kangaroos. Yes.
Our whole studio is very excited to see them.
Sheila right there, and she is a mother kangaroo, a red kangaroo, full-grown female. Males can get much larger than Sheila can. In fact, her male mate that helped produce diesel gear is almost 6 feet tall when they stand up completely. Now, kangaroos are well known for boxing. They don't box in the traditional sense like we cartoons tend to do so. The behavior they do, though, when males challenge each other does look a bit like boxing. They'll get up on their hind feet all the way, stand up nice and tall, use their tail as a kickstand, grab with their front feet. So they'll punch and they'll grab, punch and grab, and if they get in close enough, they'll actually push back onto their tail using that as a single stand and kick with the back foot. And that can be the blow that can be devastating to us humans and or to even the other kangaroo they're fighting with to make the other one go, okay, you know what, maybe you can go ahead and have this area. I'll move on over there.
So the exhibit opens in May. Is that right?
Yes, the end of May. We'll have our grand opening, and then it'll be open from then on.
Very cool. And they can find information on the website.
SanDiegoZoo.org. Yeah, that's the best place to go is SanDiegoZoo.org. And now we just added, we have a whole new sort of leap of a new, for lack of a better term, of a website all about our Outback area. And there's a whole thing you can do online. If you want to join into our competition, you can actually win tickets to come out to the zoo for the opening, hotel stay and everything. So go to SanDiegoZoo.org, click on the Koalifornia, as they call it, competition, and see how you can enter through Twitter or Facebook or any of the other social media ways to be able to do that.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much
We're
for
so
joining
glad.
us.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
Thanks
so
for
glad to
having
meet
us.
all the animals.
Glad
and
you
meet
don't mind
all
us
of
tearing the place up a bit.
You betcha. It'll be smelling good for weeks.
That's for sure. Maybe months.
Right. Well, we wish you safe travels, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
An iPhone app help you out on Valentine's Day? Find out after the break.
I'm Derek Williams, the former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UA TV. Don't change the channel.
People may tune out someone they see on a median trying to sell newspapers.
Those extra few hours of having to swipe your cat card to get in at night might be keeping non-U of A students out of the library.
And while some are traveling to Mexico for cheaper gas, others are forced to pay those high prices at the pump.
Students and parents are always invited to come cheer on the Wildcats.
We'll see you back here next week for another edition of Wildcast.
Welcome back. Guys, how do you feel about girls knowing everything about your romantic history before you even meet in person? A new iPhone application is giving girls that power and is changing the dating game. Wildcast reporter Spencer Higgins has more on this app just in time for Valentine's Day.
For those ladies looking for that special Valentine, Lulu is a perfect place to start. This girls-only mobile app gives every lady a chance to play detective when it comes to dating intelligence. To access an account, the user must sign in with Facebook, and this is how we also keep the boys out. Once an account is activated, it is time to launch those background checks.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that guys are interested in their ratings too. They'll sit and read, take a girl's phone, read what people said about them. Yeah. So.
Always happy, always pays, respects women, great listener.
He is a great listener.
Mothers love him. Deal.
Although Lulu is only meant for girls, there is a perk for the boys as well. Lulu Dudes allows male users to access their own accounts to maintain any information that those girls see.
On Lulu Dude, guys can edit their relationship status. They can add additional profile pictures of themselves. They can, use hashtags like girls do, but to describe themselves, both their best qualities and their worst qualities.
Gets the boys' attention.
All day, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Rating guys may be fun, but how do the comments stay clean? Alexandra makes that clear.
We don't ever want to feel like girls can be cruel or mean or kind of, it's not a bashing place. We can, under U.S. law, allow a girl to just, put an empty box and let her write whatever she wants next to a picture, but we simply choose not to.
I think the hashtags are really interesting because you can't say anything inappropriate about another guy. So I think it's a good idea, and I think it keeps this the site safer and more appropriate.
So, will Lulu be releasing a version for boys, you ask?
Honestly, Spencer, no.
Well, there you have it. Reporting from Wildcast, I'm Spencer Higgins.
So I had to see what all the hype was about, so I actually downloaded the app today, and I had a little bit of fun searching through all of my friends.
Friends or maybe possibly exes?
Well, I'm not going to say who I searched, but it was pretty good. People wrote nice things.
Very interesting, but I think on another note, I'm more excited for Valentine's Day. I don't know if I'll download the app. Do you feel like the number of smokers on campus is increasing? Wildcast reporter Jalen Wheatley investigates tobacco use on the UA campus.
Smoking tobacco has been a controversial issue for decades, and many college campuses, including Montana State University and the University of Oregon, have already taken measures to ban tobacco. How do students at the University of Arizona feel about this issue?
I do not currently smoke cigarettes or plan on smoking cigarettes in the future. I am comfortable with other people smoking cigarettes since that is their choice, but I do not like inhaling the secondhand smoke that I get from other people smoking, so I would prefer that they would smoke in a location where I am not affected.
If there's a downwind and my smoke is traveling to their face, I feel like they are being annoyed by my cigarette smoking, so I tend to move with that case. But besides that, I feel like I don't really bother a lot of people.
The state of Arizona has some of the toughest laws on tobacco use in public. That's why here at U of A, we have designated smoking areas, like this one, on the second story of the Student Union, right outside Reddington Restaurant.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that Arizona is strict on smoking laws because they're pretty strict on laws.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 15% of adults in Arizona smoked tobacco in 2010. This can be compared to Utah's 9.1% and West Virginia's astounding 26.8%.
I started originally smoking regularly just because it's a social thing, and when I was at a party, people would go out and have a cigarette talk, and one thing led to another, and now I occasionally smoke.
Reporting at the University of Arizona for Wildcast, I'm Jalen Wheatley.
Tired of being unable to cross the UA campus due to streetcar construction? Wildcast reporter Desiree Valenzuela gives us the time frame of when we can expect to return to our normal school routes. Desiree?
Beginning in the spring of 2012, construction for the Tucson streetcar was taking place on campus through 2nd Street. The construction on 2nd Street near the Harville building finished in December. Although construction is still taking place on parts of 2nd Street, the majority of construction of the streetcar tracks continues on Warren Avenue, Broadway near Congress, and on campus on Park Avenue. The construction site impacting university attendees is the closure on Park Avenue due to the detours, which make it inconvenient to park in this area. The detours also make it difficult to navigate to the businesses and restaurants on University Boulevard and to commute to the U of A campus. In an email interview, according to Shelley Jin, the Transportation Administrator of the Tucson Department of Transportation, closure of Park Avenue is estimated to last 4 to 6 weeks.
For me, it has been somewhat of an inconvenience because now I have to reroute to park on Euclid.
Some students may have seen construction as a bit of an inconvenience at times, but share mixed feelings towards the final outcome of the streetcar. The overall goals of the Tucson streetcar are to decrease the amount of congestion on the road, allow for easy access to buildings within the 4-mile line, and to allow transportation from U of A campus to downtown Tucson. This streetcar will also help the businesses downtown economically. The tracks for the Sunlink streetcar will begin at the Helen Street and Warren Avenue intersection, make its way through campus and downtown Tucson until it reaches Linda Avenue and Congress Street intersection. Shelley Jin later stated that although the construction of the track should be accomplished by October 31, 2013, the streetcars may not be operating due to conflicts and delays with the production of the Portland streetcars. Construction is to be finished in late October, but be prepared for road closures in the meantime due to further construction of the streetcar tracks. Reporting from Park Avenue for Wildcast, I'm Desiree Valenzuela.
After the break, find out what happens to your compostable food.
I'm Derek Williams, the former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UATV. Don't change the channel.
People may tune out someone they see on a median trying to sell newspapers.
Those extra few hours of having to swipe your cat card to get in at night might be keeping non-U of A students out of the library.
And while some are traveling to Mexico for cheaper gas, others are forced to pay those high prices at the pump.
Students and parents are always invited to come cheer on the Wildcats.
We'll see you back here next week for another edition of Wildcast.
Welcome back to Wildcast. Separate trash cans for compost are popping up in restaurants on the UA campus. But what happens to the compost after it's collected? Wildcast reporter Cassandra Manriquez has the scoop.
Compost Cats is a student-run organization that began in 2011. Though Compost Cats began as a pilot project serving the student union, the organization quickly gained a reputable identity in the Tucson community and began receiving phone calls from different local restaurants wanting to participate. Now, Compost Cats receives compost materials from Magpies, Raving Sage, Love and Spoonfuls, Whole Foods, and many other local eateries, not to mention materials from animal labs affiliated with the University of Arizona. Last Friday, the Compost Cats went where no Compost Cat had gone before, Tried Out. In efforts to get Greeks to think green, Students for Sustainability began the program Greeks Think Green. So far, Tried Out is the only Greek house participating in composting. Each day, a crew of 2 Compost Cats covers a different shift, making their rounds to different eateries, picking up compost and transferring it to the Western Agricultural Center. During this often 3-hour ride from restaurant to restaurant, the Compost Cats build a strong bond with each other.
Everybody just really was open and accepting, and I was treated as an equal immediately. Like, there's 12 or 13 of us, if you include Chet, and like, every opinion is valid, and we all help each other and support each other. And like on the run yesterday, Taryn and I, we talk about our lives, and we're becoming really good friends. And it's easy too when you have like 3 hours to spend with the other person.
Compost Cats recently became involved in a competition through the APA. The competition is between 3 Arizona universities in an attempt
I guess one of the challenges for the U of A is that we already have compost cats, so we've already reduced a lot of food waste for the U of A, but we would have to do 5% on top of that. Not to say that we can't do it, because I am sure we can.
In addition to promoting a greener community, the compost cats learn a lot of traits that extend far beyond agriculture.
We need to get things done in order to pull our weight. So you just learn that the best way to go through things is not to just try and rush through it or power through it, but just to problem solve with the person that you're working with, and just be patient in the beginning, and then the solution will come to you.
Reporting from the University of Arizona, I'm Cassandra Manriquez for Wildcast.
Curious of what new fashion trends are hitting the UA campus? Wildcast reporter Katya Hall has the scoop on what's in style.
It is a spreading phenomenon. Once you see it, you can't help but follow the crowd. Fashion trends have a way of infecting the UA students and spreading the trend to each other.
Today, I'm giving you the 411 on all the fashion trends at UA and how to become a fashion trendsetter yourself without having to spend a whole lot of money.
Okay, so we have a lot of the bright colors, a lot of these mint colors, and I'll show you on the other side, mint and teal and coral are one of our biggest. So with these two racks, those are going to be our main colors for the next season. And then also these peplum tops. We get these, and it's flat. We've had them in so many colors, but they're so flattering on everybody. And then just like the chunky, bright jewelry. Still, same color scheme.
I got the opportunity to sit with Trends president and get the scoop on all the latest fashion trends.
Like colored, long sleeve shirts right now. Spikes are really big. That was kind of a trend from a couple months ago, but I'm seeing that a lot lately. And then, when girls go out, there's always that like silky, lightweight top that's like cropped. A lot of scarves.
But sometimes the prices at the malls can be so ridiculous. So how do you save money while still keeping up with all the latest fashion trends? Stores like Savers, the Goodwill, and other thrift shops can be a good way to save money.
I think not only do you save money shopping at a thrift store and you stay green and help recycle other people's clothing and benefit from that, but you also get things that are one of a kind rather than.
Advice would be don't really follow trends at U of A. I think everybody's very casual and very into their studies and their majors, that they're not really thinking about fashion. So I don't think you should look at those type of people. But there's always those people, a couple that you see that are really stand out and who look really great because they're focused on their own style. But I would kind of try and pick out those type of people and maybe ask what stores they're into. It might be some cute little boutiques in Tucson that might spark their style.
Reporting from Wildcast, I'm Katya Hall.
If you walked by the UA Mall last week, you may have seen students trapped in mosquito tents. This was part of UA's first Imagine No Malaria event, which raised more than $1,700 for the organization Malaria No More. Each student had to raise $100 to be set free from the tents. The event was sponsored by the Global Fund to Fight AIDS, Tuberculosis, and Malaria, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Malaria is an infectious blood disease that is preventable and treatable. 91% of malaria deaths occur in Africa.
Well, that'll do it for here tonight on Wildcast. Thank you for tuning in as always, and you can watch us online at uatv.arizona.edu or on our YouTube channel, UATV-CH3.
If you haven't already, be sure to like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Janice and Carol Ann for on-campus news updates and events. From all of us here, we wish you a very happy Valentine's Day.
We'll see you next week for another late edition of Wildcast.